Hello, this quick video is going to give you an introduction to the type of evidence you can use when confirming your activity for one of the RED Awards. Now, when we're looking for evidence for the activity you've completed, we really just want something which confirms you've actually completed that activity, so we are pretty flexible on what this can be. There's no necessarily kind of one set formula you have to follow, but I will provide some recommendations of different types of evidence now, which you might like to consider. So first up, I'm going to take a quick look at paid work, which I'm sure many of you will do for one of our awards. So if you've done some paid work previously, the type of evidence you might like to include could be things like pay slips from employers or timesheets, because these will directly show the amount of hours you've completed in that particular role. You could look to get an email from your employer instead, just confirming you've worked for them over a set period, or you could consider other type of evidence you might be able to provide if you have some different ideas of what you think might be applicable to your certain situation. For example, I know some students before who have been entrepreneurs and running their own businesses, and they've perhaps provided different things to show that they've actually undertaken this work because they don't have a direct pay slip or timesheet from an employer in that example. For volunteering that you may have done, a lot of students tend to use emails from the organisation they volunteered with. So for example, if you volunteered in the British Heart Foundation charity shop, you might just get an email from the supervisor at the shop to confirm those hours have been completed. In some cases of volunteering, you might receive a certificate once you've completed a particular amount of hours, for example, and the certificate would be absolutely fine as your evidence. And in some volunteering cases, you may have activity logs. So for example, I know for the Students in School scheme at the university, they provide you with an activity log which shows the amount of hours you spent at different schools, so a screenshot of this page would be absolutely fine. And again, if you have other ideas of things you could provide to show you volunteered, that would be absolutely fine to use as well. But if you want us to check anything before you submit them, please just email us and we'll be happy to take a look through them for you. And then finally, in terms of evidence of your learning, this is likely to vary depending on the type of learning you've done. However, if you've attended things like careers workshops in the past, what you'll generally tend to find is that they'll have a RED Award slide as part of the presentation deck, and they might ask you to take a photo or a screenshot of that particular slide to use as evidence for attendance. If you've attended sessions previously and you've not got a picture or a screenshot of that slide, what you should be able to do is go to your My Jobs Online profile, look at the events detail tab, and you'll be able to see previous events you've booked onto, and there should be a little green attended icon next to the sessions you've actually attended, which you can then use as evidence if you take a screenshot of that particular page. You might also get thank you emails for attending certain events. So for example, if you've attended a particular workshop and you've got a thank you for attending email, that'd be absolutely fine as your evidence. Or if you're going to be attending something which is external, so with an external employer or someone from a particular industry, then you might just want to take some screenshots whilst you're attending that particular webinar, for example, or taking some photos if it's a conference or similar, and you'll be able to use those as your evidence for attending instead. Again, these aren't limited options, and if you have other suggestions of things you can use, then please do feel free to forward them over to us and we'll take a look and let you know if they'll be applicable for evidence of what you've attended. Thank you very much for watching.